Greetings to another video. Today is van Q&A. I asked you on my Instagram what you want to see. Van Q&A was the one, so I've got loads of questions. I did want to film this outside somewhere beautiful, but it's chucking down, so I'm just sat in the back of my van. It is beautiful countryside. I'm actually in Edenfield, so if you know where that is, let's get on to the questions. I'm just going to do these really quickly because there's a lot. Are you planning on sleeping in your van and travelling further away to bike? Yes, if you saw my last video, I will be sleeping in it. That's why I've bought the van, because I want to be able to sleep in it. Are you planning to convert the van on your own? Also, you're amazing and inspire me a lot. Thank you very much. Yes, I will be converting it on my own, and there were quite a lot of questions on conversions. Basically, the plan is just to do it really simply. I don't necessarily want like a big bed or like a kitchen area in it, because obviously you can see it's not huge, but I will be sharing the whole conversion process. So I've been buying and spending a fair bit on all the stuff that I need for it. I'm actually sat on the carpet that I'm going to be carpeting all the ply with, so yeah. What ventilation are you planning? Another couple of questions about ventilation. I did think about getting a kind of like, what are they called, like the rooftop ones. However, I did sleep in it one night, and actually the ventilation, even though it was pretty much all closed off, God, it's so windy, it was okay. And also you can buy kind of like window shields. I think they're called winds, I don't know what they're called, but you basically put them on the outside of your window so you can have your windows down, but it's still closed because it's safe, if that makes sense. Right, a lot of questions as well about the toilet. What do I do for the toilet? Well, as someone that's used to riding a long way on bikes, pretty much the same. So we can have a little wild tinkle. I've also got, you can actually get like compostable toilets and like little like toilets that you put in like vans, I guess, that have got like a cassette that you pull out and then you'd empty them, you know, either at campsites or at home. However, I've opted for a Sainsbury, Tesco recycled small pedal bin. So if I need a tinkle and I can't tinkle anywhere, I'll just tinkle in this little bin. Classy, eh? I think that's the thing though, that maybe a lot of you are like, oh my god, that's disgusting, but I think when you're used to being on a bike and going to the toilet outside, you just kind of get used to it, so yeah. Where do you shower after a muddy day? So currently, I've only slept in it once, so this is all very new to me. I was actually at a campsite, so that's another option you can do if you have got a van. You can pull into a campsite and just use their facilities, obviously pay for them. Or I am thinking about getting, one of my friends, Greg, has got like this thing that you attach to like a 2 litre bottle of water, and you can just kind of shower under that. So you just go into the forest, into some grass, whatever, shower with it like that. You can also get one that's like an electrical one that you plug it into like the 12 volt, I think, and then it heats up, so you get a warm shower as well. So that's another option that I might potentially do. Will you put a diesel heater in it? No. A lot of other questions about the electrics as well that I'm going to use in it, and I'm actually just going to, at the minute, just use USB like battery packs, and then potentially put a leisure battery in it, because ideally I want to be able to power a laptop so that I can go away and I don't have to come home to like edit videos. I can kind of do them on the go, so that's the reason for that. You can also get ones, I don't know what they're called, ones that you charge at home and then you take them with you, but I think they're about 300 quid, so they're quite expensive. How do you secure the bike when driving? Basically, I've got, where are they? Just bungee cords, basically. So as you can see in the van, there's loads of little holes and stuff everywhere, so I just kind of secure it with a bungee cord just to the side of the van so it doesn't move around. Why don't you buy an RV instead? RVs are like motorhomes, they're just huge. Like, I didn't want something to go from a car to a big RV. I don't need something that big. I'm used to sleeping in a tent or in a bivvy, so somewhere that's inside is plenty big enough for me. And then like cooking and stuff is, I eat quite simply, so a little, like a cooking stove is fine for me. How long and wide is the inside of the van, and what is a simple plan layout for the van? Well, I'm going to be doing the conversion video, so I say conversion, you'll see that coming up. The length and width of it, it's actually a Fiat Doblo. A lot of questions about that and which van I've actually got. I think it's 2.1 metres long and 1.5 metres wide, so plenty of room. How do you feel comfortable sleeping overnight? Are you scared about intruders? Again, I think this is because I'm used to like the cycling side of sleeping outside, and that it doesn't really bother me that much. But I should mention that that's why I took the bulkhead out. A lot of you, when I took it out, were like, no, you need to leave the bulkhead in. but for me it's safety wise, so that if anything does happen or that I feel unsafe in an area, I can just jump in the front and drive off quickly without having to actually get out. 'Cause otherwise, if the bulkhead was in, I'm literally just in this part of the van and I have to go out the back doors to actually physically go outside to be able to drive off. And I like having it all in one. What was the first thing you did to pimp your van? Obviously, the thing that I think most people do is, I don't know if you can see them, buy fairy lights, because every van needs fairy lights. How do you stand just using wipes and not showering on bike trips? I don't use wipes, I don't really like them, I don't think they're very good for the environment. But you can still like shower, so you can go to like I was saying, a campsite, like pay to use the facilities, go in the sea, or you can get like a little mini shower just to clean yourself. You don't have to not shower. What kind of budget gets you something clean, tidy and runs well, i.e. not a total banger or a liability? When I was looking at it, I mean, this is really dependent on what type of van you want, how big you want it and how many miles it's done. I was looking for anything that's done around 50,000 miles or like a little bit above. I think that max was like 70. I wouldn't have wanted one with more than 70,000 miles on it. And also colour plays a big part as well. White vans are always going to be cheaper. Mine was more money because it is grey. But I think when I was looking, I think anything from around £6,000 for something this size, I think is about right. Anything then going up from that, like the better spec. So I think you can get like a white one for maybe £6,000, I think. But yeah, from anything from £6,000 up. What do you do for a fridge? I don't have a fridge. I just basically, as a vegan, I don't necessarily feel like we always need fridges, because if I bring any oat milk, that's fine, just lukewarm, I guess. And I eat very simply, so I don't really need a fridge. Maybe I'll get like a cool bag. You can actually get cool bags that fit into the 12 volt. There's a 12 volt at the back, so you could always do that. But yeah, for me, I'm just not that fussed. I'll probably just eat like the main food. Like someone also asked, like, what are your favourite like meals to make? Again, I'm pretty basic, so I'll just have like fruit. I'll have dates, or like just some stuff that is really simple and easy to make and eat. But I think that is pretty much it for the van questions. So thank you so much for asking them, and lots more van videos coming up. Let me know what van content you would like to see in the comments, and I will be definitely showing the conversion, because that's going to be happening in the next week or so, I think. So yeah, 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. I'll see you next video. God, can you hear that truck? Now. It's so noisy. I hope you can't hear that. Hang on. Oh, for fuck's sake, what's going on now?